Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Review. My name is David T. Allen, or Super Dave 817 if you would like. If you want to see more of this content, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. We have a doozy of an episode today. It is going to be a very long episode, so I hope you guys can strap in and hang on for the ride because it's going to be a long one, but there's going to be a lot of awesome stuff in this video. So I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. Good morning to Michael Jean Fleming. Good morning. I see you got one of the big ones today. Yes, we do. We not only have a classified Haslab to cover, and we also have 4 figures to cover in this review. We're going to have Wild Bill, we're going to have Night Force Ripcord, Night Force Crazylegs, and Glenda, the Argentina character. So strap in and let's get this ride going. First, we're going to go into the history of all these characters and this vehicle before we open the Haslab, and then we'll show off some of the stuff that I have before we do the Haslab. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get into this, but this is going to be a very interesting history for all these characters and all these this vehicle, because it has a very long history. This is one of the very first G.I. Joe vehicles, and it was done in 1983, and so there is a big history when it comes to this vehicle. All right, so first we're going to go into Wild Bill. First, we're going to say Creating G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero, Volume 6 by Dan Klingsmith Jr. and Wild Bill. So we're going to talk about a little bit of Wild Bill. There's some ideations there, some different versions of the character. Let's get into a little bit of his history. So I'm also going to be going a little quicker to get through all this because it's going to take me quite a long time to go through all this. So if I don't answer all the questions in the chat or highlight the comments, don't get upset. It's just because I'm paying attention to what I'm doing and I'm trying to get through all this stuff, okay? All right. Alternate names. N.A. Year release 1983. Designed by Ron Rudat. Wild Bill. Ron Rudat did most figures from 82 to 87, with the exception of a couple vehicle drivers and a couple odds and ends here and there. Gunpowder Nitro. Good morning, and what's good, y'all? Listening at work. Well, this is going to be a long listen because there's a lot we're going to cover on this video. It's going to be a long video, so I hope you enjoy. Inspired by the pilots that flew the Huey helicopter during Vietnam, Wild Bill came packaged with the Dragonfly to honor those who served in the 1st Cavalry Division. Ron designed Wild Bill with a 1st Cavalry Division hat from the Civil War time period. Good morning, Terrence Child. Thank you for joining us today in the chat. All right, so you can see in the background, he's got the Dragonfly right there. And then I'm going to go to some more ideations of Wild Bill on the next page. There's several different design aesthetics. That green one that he came with in the figure, and then there's more of a brownish, darker deco that he had as well. And in the Sunbow animation, they gave him a little bit more color with blue and a red kind of vest. So he was a little bit different. I'm hoping someday maybe we'll get a Sunbow Wild Bill, but you never know. And then we have the Dragonfly. There's some design sketches. They do a really good job with these design sketches on vehicles, I must say. They look really cool. Dragonfly, alternate names, N.A., year release 1983, designed by Wayne Luther. Wayne Luther was a designer who worked on a lot of the vehicles back in the 80s. And you can see the package design down there, the back of the package and the front of the package. We will get a bigger picture of that in a little while. And then here's some more design blueprints for the Dragonfly. Look how beautiful it looks in that sketch format. I really like it a lot. It looks really nice. They do a really good job with these vehicles in that format, I must say. I almost would like to get some prints or something like that of these vehicles to showcase. And then there's a whole blueprint of all the parts and all the cool stuff that goes with the Dragonfly there. So if you want to really read up on the details of the vintage Dragonfly, get volume 6 of this Creating G.I. Joe a Real American Hero, because it goes into it very deeply. I cannot go into all that today because there's just too much to cover in this video, but we'll do the best we can. So there's the bigger picture of the package, and you can see it has Wild Bill and it has Airborne in the cockpit there, and Wild Bill in his figure form over on the right. So that is why we've been getting a lot of characters that would normally go with the Dragonfly. We got Airborne, we got Scarlet version 2, we actually got Scarlet, Vintage Scarlet Retro Package, Vintage Retro Package Duke, and we got Starduster, all figures that are very synonymous with the Dragonfly. They've flown the Dragonfly or flown in the Dragonfly or connected to the Dragonfly. So we got all those characters this year leading up to the Haslab Dragonfly. So then we have the first appearance of the Dragonfly in G.I. Joe Real American Hero 25 by Larry Hama in the 80s. And Wild Bill in there piloting it. And then I think the Dragonfly got its first appearance in the first miniseries, Sunbow miniseries, in the 1983 miniseries. The Mass Device is where it first appeared in animation. 610 Yo Joe Daddy. What's up, Super Dave? What's up, chat? Dragonfly Day. Yep, certainly is. It's going to be a long one, so hopefully you can hold on and watch the whole thing or listen to the whole thing at work, depending upon where you are. So first we're going to go into Wild Bill, his vintage figure. So there's Wild Bill. He's kind of loose. My Wild Bill is loose, so I'm going to have to fix his O-ring. He's got a bit of a brown vest there, but it wasn't as bright as the one in the Sunbow animated series. He does have the cavalry hat, so they did do that, which is kind of cool. I'm glad they did that. So the fact that they did that cavalry hat, I wonder if that means we could probably get a cross country with his gray Southern hat, possibly. Maybe, I don't know. Since this is military, maybe they have a difference. Well, so is Cross Country's hat. Technically, it's gray as well, and it's military. Let's see. G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17 3D, Joe's ORC. Don't forget to hit that like button. Definitely. All these guys have been in the chat for a while. They're all very good friends in the chat and helpful to me. 66 G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. So they're probably already subscribed, and that's why they're here in the chat now. But I appreciate it. Sharing these videos is the number one thing that I really need people to do to get more folks to see these so we can grow this channel. We're trying to get to a nice round number of like 1,000, but we're almost to 250 now. I painted my Wild Bill hat and gloves black. Ah, very cool. Why did you do that? G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. Cross Country had a Confederate racist hat. Cross Country should have had a Union color, blue, not gray. LMAO. Yeah, I don't know. He's a Southern guy. He's my favorite vehicle driver. As much as I do like Wild Bill, Cross Country is my favorite vehicle driver. I do live in the South. I'm from the North, though, so it doesn't bother me one way or the other. The vehicle is my favorite. He's the driver of it, so he's my favorite vehicle driver. So there you go. Oh, it makes it look really cool as a custom. I gotcha. Terrence Childs, thanks for joining us this morning in the chat. I just ordered a whole bunch of G.I. Joe shirts. Yeah, I ordered a few the other day myself from Super 7. I'm going to be getting them soon, hopefully. It makes it look cool as a custom. Yep. Southern also had Union guys. LOL. Yep. There you go. All right. So Wild Bill, he's got his pistols on the side there. You can see he's got his old Western revolver gun there on the side, on both legs. In fact, he's got it on that side too. He's also got a knife and a second pistol, a third pistol, I should say, on his chest there. You can see it right there. So that is Wild Bill. Let's see. Cross Country was from the South. Why would he wear a Northern hat? It's history. Yeah, you're right. All right, so we're going to put Wild Bill over on out of the way because we're going to need a lot of space when it comes to putting all these figures and everything out. So I'm going to put him out of the way so you guys got a chance to see him. All right, so next we're going to go to Ripcord. Now, this particular Ripcord never existed in the vintage line, but I'm going to go over the actual Ripcord just because Ripcord is like one of my all-time favorite characters as a single character, not a vehicle driver. So I'm going to go over his history regardless, even though this is a Night Force figure, all right? Hopefully you guys will hang in there with me with it. All right, here's Creating G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, Volume 9 by Dan Klingensmith and Ripcord. Now, there's a lot of information on Ripcord, so it's going to take me a minute to get through all this. Yo, Joe, good morning. Lady Virgo Cool. Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us in the chat again. I appreciate everybody joining us for this one. This is going to be a really big video. It's going to be a long video, so hopefully you guys can all stick in there with me. Well, he was in the 1980s, so that history should definitely be revisited because of all the hate and Confederates stood for. They stood for slavery, and the Union guys were against it. That's why. All right. Thank you. Ripcord, alternate names, NA, year release 1984, designed by Ron Rudat. I'm not going to go over all that same stuff with Ron Rudat and everything because I'm going to have to make this faster. So there you go. You guys know what Ron Rudat did. Allowing the Joes to sneak into Cobra territory at night and from high altitudes, Ron came up with the idea of Ripcord, a halo jumper. And so there's a little bit of a turnaround in there. It's a little bit of a history with him. Let's see. Thanks for hanging out last night. Yes, ma'am. My pleasure. So you guys had a good time last night. It says, in the original dossier, the first paragraph read, Ripcord always wanted to fly, or so he thought. He joined the Civil Air Patrol in high school and worked and saved for his single-engine flying lessons. On his first flight behind the controls, he discovered that it just wasn't enough. He wanted to fly like a bird without an airplane around him. He discovered skydiving, and he was never the same again. But skydiving is an expensive hobby. The Army gave him the opportunity to jump out perfectly good airplanes, and the G.I. Joe team let him jump from much higher altitudes. Very interesting. So then there's some ideations. A lot of ideations on Ripcord there, and some turnarounds and some schematics for his accessories over there. So this just talks about all of his weapons and stuff like that. What else? I think that's it for Ripcord, but he looks really cool. All right, so then his first package, his vintage package, I should say, His vintage package is right there. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a Ripcord in the vintage package line or retro vintage package line this year since we got Crazylegs. I'm pretty sure we're going to get him as well. There you go. And he would look very cool in blue cross country. Maybe I will paint mine blue. Oh yeah, the second cross country looks really good too. I'm a Virgo too. Very cool. Good morning, chat and Super Dave. Hey, PB at PB11B. Thanks for joining us. Good morning. All right, so then Ripcord got his first appearance in issue 37. Him and CoverGirl and a bunch of them appeared, and they have to stop the Crimson Twins and at a circus. It's one of my all-time favorite supporting characters also appears in this issue, Bongo the Balloon Bear, and this is Crimson Twins' first appearance as well. So then Ripcord, I don't think he appeared. Let's see. Ripcord had one of the best storylines in the Ara comics. Definitely. And I just mentioned one of the characters that was involved with that, and that was Candy Appel, Bongo the Balloon Bear. He was very heavily involved in the whole Cobra Island thing with Dr. Appel, and then he had to fight Zartan, and there's a whole thing. And he was involved with some other stuff with Candy as well. But yeah, that's why I like him so much. He had such a cool story. They really developed him in the comics. I would say from the 30s till the 50s, and then after that, you barely see him. Cool GI. Yep, thank you. All right, so that's that. That's Ripcord. So then we're just gonna show off his Night Force version. So if I get the retro version, I'll show off the retro figure, but I wanted to show his Night Force version. This came with the Haslab Sky Striker a few years ago, and I think this is a brilliant reuse of a character and a different variation of a character, and the first time that Ripcord got added to the Night Force line. So this was part of the campaign for the Sky Striker Haslab as one of the unlocked tiers. So he looks really, really cool. He's a Halo jumper. He's on Night Force. He's got that blue and green tint around him. So there you go. So that's Ripcord. So then we're going to go into Crazylegs. Now, Crazylegs, Dan didn't have anything in his books on Crazylegs, so there's not a lot of information that I have on Crazylegs. I will give you 150 for Battle Force 2000. No, I don't sell my toys, Terrence. Sorry, I'm not going to sell them, unfortunately. Just come to some conventions. You can find them. If you go to Joe Fest, the toy department, they're going to have tons of loose figures. Probably hundreds and hundreds of loose figures. You could probably get all the Battle Force 2000 there. The toy department has a toy department at Joe Fest if you go to Joe Fest. So let's see. What am I doing? Crazylegs. Where's Crazylegs? So this is his package, his vintage package right there. Crazylegs there. We have his first appearance was in issue 69, G.I. Joe Real American Heroes from the 80s. And there's a couple other characters that are in this as well that make their first appearance. It has to do with a heavy Iron Grenadiers story involving the rescue of a character, and they have to rescue him. And this is his vintage figure. Crazylegs vintage. Let's see. So I have his gun, I have the figure, and I have his parachute. So that goes around his chest, I guess, like this. Goes there, goes around his arms. Yeah. Like that. And like that. There. And then we have his gun. So there's your Crazyleg, your vintage Crazyleg. He's in pretty good shape. He's tight. He's not loose. Um, he doesn't have that much paint wear or anything on him. He's got a very gaudy type costume that I don't know why you would want a red guy parachuting out of the sky as a vintage character, but that's the way they did it. So I don't know. Some of the color deco situations of the vintage figures are a little bit odd to me, but that's the way it is. I love my Battle Force 2000 figures. I think only a few people don't like them. I think the majority of kids enjoyed that, just getting G.I. Joe figures in general. Yeah, that's correct. I think you're right. G.I. Joe 666, Delta 17. Terrence Childs, the Dreadnought stole a Skyhawk and it has the ability to change color. Do you have it? Yes, I do. Yes, I have that. It's a vehicle that changes color. There's also the night landing and the night, the ground assault and air assault. So I think that's part of the air assault, I believe. So there you go. There's your Crazylegs. Put him back in his little thing. Put him aside. Not spending a whole lot of time on these because I've got so much to cover. So then we're going to put him over there. And then we have, I don't have any, I only have one picture and I totally forgot to get it. Hold on, let me go get it. Let's see. Hasbro should have made a famous Union general for the G.I. Joe line. Ulysses Grant, was he a Union guy? They may have done that actually as a 12-inch figure. They did a lot of military outside of G.I. Joe in 12-inch size. There was a lot of different things, historical characters and things like that. So there may have been one of those. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. All right. So I wanted to show you guys a picture of Glenda. Now, Glenda was an exclusive carded Argentinian figure by Plastorama Toy Company. She was a co-pilot of the helicopter in the G.I. Joe line. And there's a picture of her. I don't know. Let's see if I can get that without the glare. Kind of, can you guys see that without the glare? Let's see. There you go. Glenda from her vintage package from Argentina, from Plastorama. There you go. Hopefully that helps. That's the best I could get for her. So let's see. Then she did make her first comic appearance in how many ice cream troopers do you have? I only have one. I have one and I put him on the Cobra side. Ah, I see. Cool. Is there an action figure of her? Yes, there is. That package that I showed you, that's of the figure. I don't have the figure itself, but I'm going to show you a figure in just a minute. Give me a minute. So she only appeared in comic form in Devil's Due from the early 2000s, issue 38, Unmasked, which is, I think, part 3 of the Union, something Union, let's see. Union of the Snake Part 3 was her only comic book appearance, kind of in the because Devil's Due at the time was a continuation of Larry Hama's, but then it got kind of shunted over when IDW came onto the scene with Larry Hama, and he continued with his story from 155 and a half. So then IDW got shunted. So Glenda does appear in comic form, but it kind of got shunted around, and she kind of got sidetracked. And then I think something happens to her in this story as well, where she gets hurt in this story. All right, so then Super 7 did a replica reaction figure of Glenda, similar to her Argentinian version from Plastorama. So there she is. Obviously, she didn't look like that artwork that I showed of the vintage figure, but it's still the same character. It's Reaction Plus, because that was a redeco of Scarlet with different colors, similar to Quarrel, where they redecoed her in another country to look like the silver and blue that's in this figure from Argentina. Let's see. So there are action figures of Glenda. There is trying to get an Argentinian one is very expensive. I don't have that, but I did get the reaction version of her, and she looks beautiful. This card art is very cool, and it's very inspired by Scarlet. You can tell there that it's very inspired by Scarlet. And because I don't have that much history on her, I'm going to read her file card. I don't have any of the G.I. Joe comics. I gave my issue one away along with a few other ones I had of the first few issues. I had no idea they were worth so much. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're worth a lot of money. Certain ones, especially issue 1, issue 2, 21, all the last like 5 or so comics from 50 to 55 are worth some money. And there's a couple first appearances and things like that that are worth some money. Super 7 should make Glenda for the Reaction Plus line. I don't know if they're going to do that because she had an O-ring figure. So they are not going to duplicate things that have already existed, and that's why they did it in Reaction, because this is basically like a palette toy, 5 points of articulation, whereas the Reaction Plus would be O-ring style figures with all articulation. And since she already got that design as an Argentinian figure, they're probably not going to do that. So that's the logic behind that. But let's read her file card. It says Copito del Helicopter, which is pilot helicopter driver. Nombre de Archivo, Jane Mulligan was her name. Especially military Primera pilot to Proba. Especially military secondary intelligentsia grade E7. And it's in Spanish, so my Spanish is not very good. Or Argentinian, or whatever you want to call it. And they need to make Red Satan Ninja for Reaction Plus line. Yeah. So there's a bunch of characters they did do in Reaction that would look really good in Reaction Plus. I'm not sure which ones they're going to do. Like Raven, she never got an O-ring figure, so they're going to do her as an O-ring. Quinn did get an O-ring. It was more of his Arctic version. So I don't know if they would do the regular version of Quinn as an O-ring, because they did him as a Reaction figure. So we just have to wait and see how that works out. But I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's all in Spanish. I was hoping it was in English, but it's not. So I'm going to put her aside as well. All right, so here's my Dragonfly, my vintage Dragonfly. It's in really rough shape. It's very dusty, and I'm missing the propeller on it because I'm not a mint complete collector. I just get them the best I can, but I would need to get another propeller probably, and I don't know how I would put that back on there. But that's my vintage Dragonfly, and it's in pretty good shape. Other than it being dusty and the propeller missing. the Dusty and Shipwreck for the Brazilian line they need to make. Hey, there's a lot of foreign figures that I would like Super 7 to make as Reaction Plus. I think there's that's a space for them to play in where no one else is playing in. So I think that's a good idea. So there you go. There's the Dragonfly, the vintage Dragonfly. This opens up. You get all the cockpit and everything in there. That tab's a little broken. It's okay. I got all the missiles, most of the missiles, but you know, I need to dust it. All right, so I'm going to put this down on the floor down here, out of the way. There you go. Okay, so now we are going to get into the classified Haslab, and here we go. First off, this piece of artwork on here is absolutely brilliant, I must say. You can use crazy glue with baking powder. It will glue it 1,000 times stronger. Wow, okay, thank you very much. I didn't know that. Crazy glue with baking powder. Awesome, thank you. So this is, I think it's the same artist that did the Hiss artwork. It is beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that awesome looking? Then we go onto this side and we see the other part of that piece of art. And then we go on this side and we kind of just get a flat version with another one down there. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that sunset. It looks like it's coming like from Vietnam, like the sunset of them going over the swamps and stuff like that. It really looks nice. And then this one as well. So that goes all the ways around the box. And then on the top, it has the Dragonfly XH1. And it says Haslab, has all the logos there. It has the Yeehaw champion badge there with G.I. Joe. And then 615 CM and the stars and stripes there. And the Dragonfly logo. And then we have a blueprint on the other side. There, a blueprint. Haslab, the logos, everything. G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly XH1. And two different versions of it. One straight up and one the portrait version. It has some missiles and stuff like that on the side here. It looks really, really nice. They do a really good job with the boxes and packaging at Hasbro on the classified line. I'm very, very happy with what they've done. So, all right. So we're going to turn this back over, and then we're going to start sliding this out of here. So I've got to be careful because this takes up a lot of space. I'm going to take all the drawers out. So we got drawer number 1. All right, so we're going to put this off to the side since we got that open. There. There. Then we have drawer number 2. Then we have drawer number 3. All right, so I'm going to leave drawer number 3 there. G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. I should buy a broken one just to fix it up because I have 4 nice ones, 1 Dragonfly, 2 Tiger Force ones, and 1 Locust Dragonfly. Ah, very cool. I have all of those as well. All right, so I'm going to put the box away. We have that interior Yeehaw Champion on the interior of that as well, right there. So I'm going to put this off to the side, get it out of our way, put it over here. Give us some space to work there. So we're going to go into the small box that also has the stars and stripes on it there. So let's see. All right, so this is the figure box. This has all the figures in it. So we're going to take out Wild Bill. Wild Bill. Very vintage inspired, very close to his vintage figure. And there's some beautiful artwork on the back. Then the designations on there. So we're going to get all these out of here. We'll open them up one by one. And then we have Night Force Ripcord. So let's see. Wild Bill is 142. 142. Ripcord, Night Force Ripcord is 143. And his designations. And then we have Glenda, 144. And then Night Force Crazylegs, 145. $610 Yojo Daddy. G.I. Joe 66. Did you change your handle from Cobra Emperor Delta 17? So if you put all these together, there's a diorama on the side of the package. So you can put them as a diorama. So it behooves you guys to sometimes save packaging because it has some really cool things that you can do with it, some of them. And there's a lot of interesting information on the packages sometimes, but it has a diorama of the Dragonfly on the side. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that beautiful? They really did a really good job with this Dragonfly. I must say. So they also have all their designations. So we're going to go into them in a little while. I'm going to put this out of the way. Put it down there. We're going to go into these guys in a little while and open them all up and look at all their designations. All right. So then, let's see. This is box 2. Let's see. We have the Yeehaw Champion G.I. Joe on the top of the package there. So let's see, what do we have in here? Holy cow. Man, is there a lot in this. Okay. So we have, this I think is the stand. A lot of the stuff that's in here is the stand. So I'm going to take everything out, put it over here next to me, and then I'm going to put the box down there so I can use the box for garbage. Then we have another part of the stand there. We have some of the rotor and the propeller attachments. We have some of the wings. and stuff like that. The wings. Then we have some of the missiles. I think it's chips and salsa is what they were referred to as. There. So we're going to put that. I think that's everything. Yep, that's everything in box 2. Actually, no. I want to do this. I'm going to put this down here like that. That. So then I can put all the packages and stuff in there. So that's good. Oops. There. Okay. Whew. Really looks cool, that artwork. Oh yeah, it does. They did a really good job with the Dragonfly, I must say. As much as I like the black and the red on the juxtaposition of the red and the black on it, the beautiful like sunsets and the greens and the historical type stylization of the Dragonfly is really cool. So we're gonna get all this stuff out of the packages and we'll put it aside until we need to put it on the Dragonfly. So this is chips and salsa. There's one chips and there's salsa. Doop. Then we have the wings. So we got one wing. It's black with some lights, some little lights on it. There. This one's got some green lights on it. Green, with green and black. The army drab for both of those. So put them over there for now. Then we have the stand. And they use that sticky cellophane on there to keep it from damaging the plastic, which I like a lot when they do stuff like that. That means they really took the effort to protect this and make sure that it wasn't damaged in the shipping and stuff like that. So then that comes off. See-through, so it looks like it's kind of on the stand flying in air almost when you get it on there. I'm going to put it over here for now until I'm ready to use it. Let's see. I wish they would make a camouflage Dragonfly 3 quarter and 1 for the 6-inch line. You know, I think there's going to be more stuff. You just got to hang in there. You just got to be patient because I think we will get more. It's going to take some time to get all this stuff. We can't get it all in 1 year because not only is it expensive, we all have other things that we do. We all have responsibilities in life, things that we have to do and stuff like that. So they can't make it and we can't buy it. So they've got to kind of parse it out a little bit at a time because it's expensive. G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. Lady Virgo looks like the cone from the vet. Okay, Lady Virgo, I'm not sure what that reference is to. If you want to clarify that, thank you. Gunpowder Nitro, gotta hang in there like a hair in a biscuit. Funny, Gunpowder Nitro. Is that from like Apocalypse Now or something? So then we got the bottom part of the stand. So I'm going to add that to this. So you get this big stand here. Oh, the clear piece. I gotcha. I got you, Lady Virgo. Thank you. So I'll put that over there. And so then we have the propeller. And there's some really interesting detail with that. The gray, green, navy, marine green. And then there's these two little things that go on the legs, I think. So I'm going to put these over here. I'm going to put these over here. Get everything out off of there so I can get to the next box, because it's going to be a large box this time. They could make the helicopter a cheaper price. Maybe 100 would be reasonable. Yeah, I think it's because it had 4 figures. That's why it was more expensive. That right there looks like a Cone Animals, where when they leave the vets. I gotcha. I understand. One of those head cones so they don't scratch themselves and stuff like that. I gotcha. They make Barbie vehicles for 100 and under, so they can make the helicopter for 100. I'm sure the helicopter could have been 100. I think it was because of all the extras and the care that it took to package it, ship it, and it came with 4 figures. So you're looking at $25 a figure. There's $100 right there. So this vehicle was, I think, $275 if I'm not mistaken. So if you take 100 out, that brings it down to $175. You take out a lot of the accessories and the shipping cost and all the other stuff. Yeah, maybe you could have got it down to $125, maybe. All right, so now we got the big boy. Let's see, what do we have here? We have the Dragonfly number XH1. There we go. I'm going to move some of these back here so I have a little bit more space. All right, so I'm going to try to do this without knocking anything over. All right. You paid a small fortune for that Dragonfly, did you? Yeah, because I got 2. So they were $275 plus shipping, so it was almost $300, and I got 2 of them. So it was about $570 or $580 for the 2 of them combined. Let's see. Terrence Childs. 610 Yojo Daddy. The price was very fair on the Dragonfly. Welcome to the modern toys. Yeah, because I really thought the Hiss Arctic Assault was going to be $175 or $174.99, and they jacked it up $25 more because of the tariffs and the delivery and shipping and everything like that. So we should be happy we got the Hiss, the Sky Striker, the Dragonfly, the Rattler, all for pretty reasonable prices. Now it's going to be more expensive going forward. I agree with you that on that one, 610 Yojo Daddy. G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17 Welch. They don't have to send it with figures. They don't. You're right. It definitely needs its pilot, so it still would have been somewhere in the 150 range with one figure. In my opinion, if you just pared it down to the bare minimum, it would have still been in the around 150. Well, I don't collect 6-inch LOL. It costs 100 for a vintage one in Canada prices, Canadian prices. Wow, that's expensive. But I don't know. 600 for 2. Wow. Almost about 580 or so. Yeah. It was expensive. Yeah, but remember, we got this several years ago, so it was a little cheaper back then than it is now. Even without figure, it would be that price due to the molds for the Dragonfly. They have to recoup the mold money and make profit. 610 Yojo Daddy, that is 100% correct. And that's why we're going to get a reuse of that mold probably next year as an MTR Dragonfly or Tiger Cat. No, Tigerfly next year, right? Correct. All right, let's get into this. So we have the blueprints and the sticker sheets. All that is right there. Cool. We're going to put that over there so I don't lose it. So then we have the propellers. Put that over there. Let's see. They already are charging a huge profit if it was funded by the people, but if they funded it themselves, then they would have to try to make more money off of it, of people. Correct. So then we got the back wings there. Put them over there. Then we have a gun, a big gun there. So then we have some of the rocket booster effects there. And then we have some huge missiles, Stinger missiles. Then we have some more effects, a whole bunch more effects. We'll leave that in the tray for now. There. Then we have the heavy machine gun missiles there. What else do we have? Anything else? Oh, so that's the top tray. Then there's a second tray underneath. Let's get this over here. All right, so this is where we get into the big puppy parts. So there's the tail. There. So put that there. And then we have a couple of little bits and bobs there. Put them there. And then we have the fuselage, the main part of the fuselage. There's the main fuselage parts. All right, so I'm going to do this, put that there. I'm going to put the box over here. There. So then I can put some of the plastic and stuff in there. Whew, it's big. Let's see. 610 G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. Don't forget they make it in Vietnam, so labor is dirt cheap. 20 American is worth 4,000 Vietnam money. So clearly Hasbro is making huge profit. Wow. I did not know that. That is some new information. Thank you for that. And the molds are cheaper in Vietnam. Wow. Okay. Thank you. All right. So we're going to take this out first. The fuselage. There. So we're going to take some of that sticky tack off. There. And there you go. And hopefully this gives you guys in the chat a little bit of an idea of how big these classified Haslabs are. Because look at how big it is compared to me. That's big. And Vietnam currency is called Dang. I just find that awesome, awesomely funny. Dang, the Dang. Okay, holy crap, that's huge. Wow, yeah, it is. And that's why I keep saying, you guys that want like the hovercraft, it's just too big. I think if they funded it, it would be even more than it already is. And the production in Vietnam failed, and they had to move it back to China. If you don't collect it, why does it matter? Don't buy it. All right. Yep, that's right. That's funny, Brandon. Wow. Do I attack you to Joe, Daddy? Please be respectful of others. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's fine. We're good. We're all good. So there's all kinds of tampos stuff on the side. There's the wow uh, Dragonfly symbol, Lieutenant W.S. Wild Bill Hardy, which is Wild Bill's real name. There's Rescue. There's a Step. There's 24. There's Danger, Intake Jet, the Joe Stripes, Beware of Blast Effect there. So there's all kinds of tampos and words on this, all along the sides. Let's see. I think that's on both sides. Yeah, everything that's on that side is on this side. So it's on both sides. Then we have two ties. We have a little bitty thing to hold it up. So we're gonna undo the strings to take that brace off there. Uh, so we have done. I think this is going to end up bringing up to 145 reviews when we're finished with this classified reviews. We have now started with 00 Snake Eyes, and we are now all the way up to 145. We've also done 21 vintage package figures, and we've also done 4 legacy and 60th anniversary figures. So if you add all that up, 21 and 4, that's 25, and then 145, that's 50, 67, that's 170 reviews thus far from 00 Snake Eyes on up. And there's some odds and ends too, because there was also the Fortnite Snake Eyes. There was also some running variants of some of the early figures, 3 or 4 running variants. So we're really up to about maybe 180 reviews that we've done thus far on the channel for classified for this. And I hope you guys are really enjoying these. If you want to go back and look at any of the other previous reviews, they're all on the channel. You can go back to the library and you can look at those. If there's a character that you're interested in, find out what the number is, and you can pretty much go back words that way to find out what the character or what the number of the classified is to find the video for it. But we've done them all in order. All right, so there we go. We got everything off. All right, so that's all that. Let's open up this guy. There's little sticky things on the tabs right here. I'm going to try and get these off without damaging it. All right. So I got the tabs all off there. So this opens up, I believe. Can it's on that side. So these little tabs, you got to be very careful with them because you don't want to break it. But it opens up on the side there, and you can look inside that cockpit. You can put Wild Bill in the front there. I'm trying to see about opening all these tabs up and being very careful with them because I know the tabs are very sensitive on this. So there's the other side that opens up as well there. Let's see. So the whole thing also opens up like that if you want it to. You can put these back there. And then you can open it and look at it inside. I'm going to try to I'm going to be very careful with it. I'm going to try to do it so you guys can see the upside part, so you can see all the computer technology that's on it. All right, so let's see if you guys could see that. Try to get this. All right. There. All right, I think I got it. So you see that computer panel? So the technology and stuff in those computer panels, eventually when I get this all fixed up, you'll be able to see the lighting and stuff. And it's on both of these. It's on both panels there, all the computer effects and stuff like that and detail in there. With my lighting there, it's hard to see, but there's also those two harnesses as well. So I'm going to close that back up for now. It's all closed back up there. There's a couple of little panels here that have like technology in them so they can work on the engines and stuff. Yeah, the Dragonfly is very cool, Brandon. Thank you. Star Wars is way worse, yet I can find 10.5 POA Star Wars, but the modern Star Wars is like 25, so 35, and for what more profits? So my daughter only gets the $10 Star Wars and the 35 O-ring figures. There you go. You got to do what you got to do and budget yourself and make it work for your family and your situation. Be very careful opening the gull wing doors on that. Will R, good morning. Hello. Thanks for joining us. If you feel a resistance, then don't force it. Yeah, I've been told that. So that's why I'm trying to be very careful with it. Thank you, Will R. Yes, Dave, Will is right. Be very careful with the canopy. They did have some quality issues. Yep. I'm aware of it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sixenio Joe Daddy. Clement, good morning. This is one for you. It's a big vehicle, and I know you love big vehicles. Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us again. You don't need to, no breaks. Take your time. Shouldn't have to force anything. Yep, you're right, Gunpowder Nitro. I'm not in a rush. GI Joe 6610 Delta 1730 3D Joes. That is super cool. If they ever make a 3 1/4 one again, they need the canopy to be a bit wider so figures can fit in easier and not so cramped in it. Yeah, you're right. They should have sent people 2 canopies if they had issues. Yep. Some people were able to get them back from the quality issues situation. So then we have on this one, it does the same thing on that side. There. Right. And then there's these little tabs here that open up as well. There, that gives some engine detail and places where people can work on it. And then it's on this side as well. Engine there. There's some thruster detail in there with some lights. There's a little light there. And there's the button. So when we get everything working, we'll be using that button to make the propellers work. Let's see, what else can I show you on the fuselage. This gun pivots and moves around as well, similar to the vintage one. Then there's these little teeny guns on the side here on both sides. There. I'm trying to think of what else is there. So then we have the battery compartment underneath and all that detail there. So I think that's it for this part. And they have a bit of a different cone on it than the vintage one. Let me see if I can pull out the vintage one here. The vintage one, the cone is a little bit shorter and less pointy than the other one. If you look at that. So there. Put that back over there. And this one's a little more pointy. But I do love all the rivet details in the canopy and on the fuselage. I really do. I like the color breaks with the black and the clear and stuff like that. I think they did a good job with the color breaks on this. The black and the green and stuff like that. And the little clear and the yellow and the white and the little red details all over it with different parts. I think it's really good. They do a really good job with all the color breaks on these, I must say. All right, so let's see. What do we got? The red button on the car is a light. That's a little bit of light, Clement. This thing looks amazing. Yeah, it is really cool. I'll be releasing a video in the next couple of weeks about what happens when you return a Haslab. I had to return my Rattler. Great informational video on how well Hasbro handles it. Yeah, that's a good idea. So if you guys do have issues with any parts or what have you, there's a place on Hasbro Pulse that you can go to and email them and quality control thing, and you can get your stuff returned, and you can get a part in return sent back to you. But I'm sure 610 Yojo Daddy's video is going to be a lot more comprehensive than that, because I do know people that have done that. All right, so we're going to go into this tail. I'm going to pull this out. There. So keep an eye out for that video from 610 Yojo Daddy, and like and subscribe to his channel as well. He does a really good job. So then we have the DF XH1 Tampo on this side with the G.I. Joe logo and these stripes, and then on this side as well. Can I show the light? Once I get it all put together, but there's the light right there. It's not on yet. I can't show that because I have to put the batteries and stuff in it. It's going to be a while, Clement. I'm sorry. Down the road, after I get it all put together and I have everything in I will get the lights working and I'll show it off for you, because I was supposed to do that with the hiss and I forgot. So I still have to do that. So you're gonna have to be a little patient, all right, Clement, until I can get that all put together, or put this all together. Trying to figure out how these little panels here. Do these panels come off? They look like they come off. I don't know. Or at least one of them. No, I guess not. So those are all solidly on there. They don't come off. They look like they came off. That's why I was playing with it. And then this has a little compartment there as well. But it's really cool. There's a lot of really nice rivets and detail in it. Brandon8269, best to put batteries in first to protect the rotors. Oh, okay. All right, let's see. So we're going to try and put this on here, and we'll see if we can get it in there. All right, we heard that clicking noise, right? All right, so look at how big this is. It is absolutely humongous. Way bigger than I thought it was. Wow. All right. So we're going to put that there for now. So we're going to get into some of these other accessories and parts. So we have the two Stinger missiles. 1, 2. A little red deco on both of those, yellow and red. They have the dog bone little attachment right there. I don't know if you guys can see it with this lighting. A little dog bone attachment there. So we'll put them over there. Then we have these big guns. Two of those. Then we have all the little bits and bobs. See what we do with that. This is the attachment for the crank. So this must go up and down, and it has a little bit of a ratcheting noise there to bring that up and down, I'm guessing. So that's really cool, I must say. I like that. That's what I would like them to do with the Tomahawk. I think they should, if they do the Tomahawk, they should have 2 of those, these little ratchet things on it. And so there's a little bitty weapons effect for the cartridge, the weapons cartridge there. Yeah, that is very big. Very, very big. Because this is classified scale, so it's 1/6. So it's going to be very, very big, Clement. If you look at the vintage, now this is a perfect example. I'm gonna here's the little yellow fins. I'm gonna show this because sometimes you guys, I don't think you understand when it comes to this stuff, the scale and the upping of the size. So look, there's the vintage, and I don't have everything on it yet, but it dwarfs that. It's 3 times bigger, this is, than this. So imagine trying to get a whale 3 times bigger than another whale. It's just astronomically big. So that's one of those situations where I thought that was the perfect example to show you how big this stuff is. It is huge. And I don't think people realize it. They really don't. So then we have the missile effects. So because of the glue and stuff, they put the cellophane over there to protect it. Which last time I opened the Hiss one, there was a bit of sticky tack still to this. These are like the thrusters that go behind the missiles. So when you put the Stinger missiles, you can do this. Isn't that awesome? So then we have the second one. And I think I'm going to add that one to the Stinger missile too. So there's 2 of them. There. Got them together. So then we have the gun. This got a lot of really cool detail in it. Look at how beautiful that is. Look at all that detail, that machine gun detail and everything. And there's I love it when they do these like paint apps on it to make it look like it's really hot and it's like burnt a little bit and it's firing so much that it's like heated up. I like that effect. I think it looks really nice. I think they did a really cool job with this gun here. Dave, I love you too. Put the car up. You love me too. Put the car up. What do you mean? What are you talking about, Clement? You want me to show a bigger picture of it? Or show this? That's astronomically big, isn't it? Very big, Clement. Well, we're putting this together, so it's going to take me a few minutes to get all the parts, okay? Those were some pretty good missile noises. Hey, thank you. Gunpowder Nitro. The Dragonfly is still 10 inches shorter in length and 2 inches shorter in height than it would be if it was a true 1/12 scale Bell AH-1 Cobra helicopter. Oh yeah, is that right, Brandon? You're very good when it comes to the military information and all that stuff, inside info, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I was not aware of that. I'm not an expert in the military arena. I only play with GI Joe toys. Can you imagine this Dragonfly at another 10 inches in length? Hasbro did a great job. Oh yeah, they did an excellent job, Brandon. Yep. Cheers, I try. So there's the back fins with the Dragonfly logo and the red light. So eventually, when we get this all hooked up, we'll have those red lights on both of these. So we're going to put them out of the way for now. There. And then we have the propellers. Yeah, 610 Yojo Day. It barely fits anywhere as it is. And that's the whole trick of these things, is trying to get them on a shelf. Trying to get them to fit on a shelf is the hardest part. I ended up buying a set of shelves that I had a lot more space on them. so I could spread it out a little bit. If you look at the shelving up there, there's big gaps and stuff. I did that intentionally because I knew eventually I was going to get to this and I was going to need that much space, and not using bookcases instead. So there are your two propellers. All right, so let's see. Let's get a couple of these parts out here. We're going to take this. We're going to try to put this on without damaging it. So I'm going to put the propellers on. I'm going to make sure I put the right side on the right side. Is that the right side? Yep, that's the right side. And then this one is on that side. So there, look at that propeller. It's too long to even fit in my screen. It's huge. All right, so then we're going to try to put this on the top of this without too much difficulty. I hope that I can get it to go. Yep, you hear that clicking noise? That means I got it on there. So, all right. So now I have that on with the propeller. There. All right, so then we're going to try to get these guys on there. Let's see. I should be using the directions. I have the directions, and I'm not even using them. All right, so I think let's see what it is. Let's see. Does the black part go up or the black part go down? 610. I think it goes up, maybe. And that means if it goes up, it goes on this side. That there. Then this one goes on this side. There. There. Does that look right? Oh my God. Let's see. 610 Yojo Day, exactly. I'm glad it is the size it is. It works great. The landing sleds fit a few guys nicely, still without the whole halo taking up too much space. Brandon, now you have to play G.I. Joe outside since your toys are too big. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna have to go outside, and I've done that. I've done that with my toys. I don't care though. Hasbro classified Tomahawk. Let's go. Yes, I'm all in for a Tomahawk. But imagine what the Tomahawk. This is a perfect example. Look at this sucker. Look at this huge helicopter. Imagine what a Tomahawk would be. It's like twice the size of this. Twice the size for a Tomahawk. That's the reality. Anyone have any sagging issues with their 10-inch propellers, blades? G.I. Joe 600, not at all. Mine's is great. Well, there you go. It can only fit in the side. It needs to go in, Dave. I believe it is black up. Great. Thank you very much. I did get them in there. You have bought yourself a wonderful model of a helicopter. However, the original is best because the original Dragonfly helicopter is a toy designed, created, and made to be played with and enjoyed. There you go. It is true. You are true about that. The original is a toy, and it has the blades, and you can move it around, and you can go outside and run around and stuff like that. This is really not that. It's unless you're doing photography or you're doing dioramas or something like that, or you're doing what I'm doing, putting it together. I don't see any other reason to use it. It's going to be on display, and every person's display that I've seen, they just have it sitting up on a shelf someplace. But those three things that I just said are the only things that you could do with it realistically as adults, unless you give this to a child. That's your business, but I don't know. Imagine 2 rotor blades that size on the tomahawk. I still want one though. Oh yeah, I want one too, but God, is it going to be big? It's going to be big. All right, let's see. What else can we do? So we have a lot of attachments. So we have the chips and salsa, which has some silver deco and some yellow and orange stripes on there. So I'm going to see if I can fit those on here without too much difficulties. I think they go. Let's see. Trying to see where these go. Do they go that way? No. Okay, I think they go this way. So I'm going to try to get my chips and salsa in. Yep, that went in. No problem. And then we're going to get the other one in. Yep, we got that in. So we got chips and salsa in. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. The rotor blades are thick and sturdy for more, so that the O-ring version, I still have concern what we may happen with them 10 years from now, but they should not sag anytime soon, at least. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think they're going to sag, Michael Gene Fleming. They look pretty good and sturdy to me, very thick. My Tomahawk propellers sagged and they broke, so I had to buy a bunch of new ones, and I haven't yet put them on yet of my vintage Tomahawk. I don't get time to play. I have too many kids, and 3 are autistic. 1 is normal, and the other with the X is a math genius. Wow. That is a lot of work that you got on your hands, G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17 3D Joes. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope the kids are okay and healthy at least, besides the autism and stuff like that. So that's good. So trying to make a custom hovercraft is taking forever. You were supposed to start chipping away at that last night. How heavy is it? It's a little heavy. It's actually a little heavy. I would say once we get everything in it with figures, I would say it's about heavy as a barbell, like maybe 2 barbells. It's heavy. It's not light. All right, I'm gonna try to put these missile things, these rocket things on here. I don't know exactly where they go. I'm gonna see if I can figure out where they go. I think they go in here, like that. I want to make sure I put them in the right way, though. Let's see. These go in here. Nope. Nope. I don't think that's the spot for it. They go somewhere else. Maybe here. Yeah, that's it right there. All right, so then this is very tricky because this thing is so big. Then we have this one that goes here. There. So then you have those 2 guns, those guns like that on there. All right, next, let's see. We have this gun. I'm going to see where this gun goes. Well, to fix the sagging, you have to make thinner towards the end and thicker towards the center. Yep, you're right. You're probably right about that. 10 pounds I would say about 10 pounds. Yeah. Put it on a scale later to see. I will. I'm going to buy this and never open it. I'm displaying new in-box items. Wow. Okay. That's fine. I have another one. I have two of everything. So I have a second one of these still in the box. I've got it stashed away. Where does this gun go? Let's see. Trying to figure out where this gun's supposed to go. I'm going to move my Stinger missiles over and put them on. I think they go on the sides, but I'm trying to figure out where this gun's supposed to go. Let's see. Maybe it goes underneath this other gun. Let's see. I think that's the only place it could go. I just got to get my hands underneath here to lift this up. Is there a spot? No. Oh, God. I'm not sure where this gun goes. And I don't know where this winch goes yet either. I'm going to start putting some of the wings on for now. We'll play around with these guns in a little while. So I have the two black wings. Will R7284. The gun goes under the side wing. Okay. I'll look at it. You need a bigger room. I definitely need a bigger room. GI Joe 66 Delta 17, and the winch goes under the other side wing. Okay. So let's see. So I'm thinking these guns. I put these two guns there. I put these two guys there. So maybe I put them in the wrong place. I thought that's where they went. So I put these two guns here. So is this gun, these are interchangeable and they can come out like that. And then you put one there like that. And then you put this. Let's see. So there's a little bitty thing there. Let me take that back off. Thankfully, they come off pretty easily. So this goes there like that. And then this goes here. And that sits in there. There like that. There it is. Whew. So you got the ammunition thing there. You can see it underneath there, and then that's where the gun goes. And so you can take this one off, and you can put the winch here. Like that, the winch. So then the winch goes like that. All right, so gunpowder nitro. Why not just buy the box then? Not to be facetious, but if you never intend to take it out, you could probably save a lot of money by buying just the box off of eBay or something. Michael G, there is not enough pylon space for everything at once. You have to choose what you want for the mission. Ah, I gotcha. Hello, Clement. Morning, Joe Bros. It's Haslab Day with Super Dave. That's right, Sean Jones. You got it. This is going to be a long video. We are just getting into this. So we went over a little bit of the history and some of the other figures and stuff like that, and the background of everything. But now we're going into the Dragonfly and putting it together and seeing what can go on here. So then we have these wings. I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to start working on some of the parts in the back. So let's see. Guessing. Goes like that. Goes like. I don't know if I did that right. Oh, these move around. That's why it feels weird. They go up and down. These little wings here, they go up and down, both of them. And then we have these little yellow wings. I think they go there. There. So they go up and down as well. That's pretty cool. All right, and then we have the Stinger missiles. I think I'm going to take the rocket part off. I'm going to try to put the Stinger missiles on the side. I think there's two attachments that go on for the Stinger missiles. It's these little green attachments. Dude Stuff 2025, Smarty Pants. Hello. Hey Dave, I had to put my Dragonfly away. It was just too big for my office room. Talking Joe, you did? Mark? Wow. Gunpowder Nitro, because I'm OCD and I like all my stuff brand new, not to mention if I ever resell, the full value will be there. I gotcha. Love the tall piece. The tail piece looks like the Dragonfly insert tail. Yeah, does. I like expensive things. Michael G. Fleming, the tail fins being adjustable is one of the upgrades I am very happy with. Yeah, that is kind of cool. You're right about that. Holy crap, how large are those missiles? They're very big. G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. So I'm going to try to put these dog bone pins on here. Make sure that I get them on right. Let's see. I think maybe they go that way. Yeah, like that. They go in there like that. And then you put one missile on there. There. So then you turn it this way. And you put the other dog bone attachment in there. That. And then you put these on there. That. There. Whew. Okay. So then we can maybe put that back on like that. That's going to be tricky for the equilibrium of it, but we're going to play around with it. We're going to show you guys a little bit. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Hashtag holy smokes. Gunpowder nitrous, sure, dude. Not knocking you at all. We all like expensive things. I figured, or we wouldn't collect those things. Yep, there you go. I would say the weight is over 5 pounds, but under 10. It's pretty heavy. It's definitely heavy. FYI, the Stinger is a man-carried anti-aircraft missile. These would be sidewinders, air-to-air missiles carried by planes and helicopters. Oh, okay. So these are not Stingers. They are sidewinders, according to Michael Gene Fleming. Brandon, you're an expert in this stuff. Is that right? All right. So let's pull this around here. We're gonna do a little bit of play with this. I'm gonna see. No, I don't have that in there, so I guess I can't do the button yet, because I don't have the animatronics on it yet and the lighting yet. But there is animatronics and then there's lighting that goes on this. Now we're gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna play with this. I'm gonna try to use the stand. All right, so this is going to be tricky to see if this works. So cross your fingers, guys. Let's see if this works. Whew! Look at that. It's because of the buoyancy of this chair that I've got that it's very, very weird. I'll just do that. How about that? I wish there was a place to put these someplace else. I don't see anywhere else to put them though. That's sad. I would have liked to have gotten them on there. We also have Hey, Skywalker. Thanks for joining us for the Sky Striker. No, the Dragonfly Haslab. Holy cow. The original Dragonfly had grappling hook underneath. It does that thing have a grappling hook underneath? Yes, it does. Terrence Childs. I'll show it to you. I showed it a little bit a while ago, but I can show it again. I'm not an expert. I'm just 10th degree black belt in Google Foo. Google Foo. Brandon, you're funny. Those are Sparrow missiles. Oh, wow. Gunpowder nitro. My son collects and into NECAs. He's always giving me a hard time about not opening my stuff. Yeah, it just depends, what you want to do with it, how you want to display it, where you want to put it, and everything. Well, I plan to die with my collection, so why not open it all up? LOL. 20 years left. Oh man, don't say that. Dave, can you fix your YouTube chat? What do you mean? What's wrong with my YouTube chat, Clement? Seems like everybody else is able to get into it. What's wrong with the chat? Are you having a problem or an issue? Then we have these little bitty effects as well, these flaming effects there. We have another flaming effect there. So we got another one. The second one of that smaller one. And then we have another one of the big one. All right, so let's see. That's a little wibbly there, a little loose on that, not straight. So we got those. We're going to put those all down here out of the way because I'm going to need space. I'm going to put these guns over there as well. Throw that away. So let's get into some of these stickers a little bit to showcase some. I'm not going to be putting any stickers on it. I think the tampos that are on it are great, but I'm not going to put any stickers on mine because I'm very bad with my tremors that I can't put stickers without them being all weird. Let me know, Clement, if you have an issue in the chat, because everything is looking fine here on my side. So there's the blueprints, and we pretty much put this whole thing together without the blueprints, right? I'll look at it to make sure I didn't miss anything. There's the battery pack. That's all that. Looks good. I think I got everything in the right spots. Yeah, everything. I think I put everything together right with you guys' help. Then there's the legal and DC gobbledygook. Here's some cool stickers. So I find it interesting. They gave us the chips and salsa stickers, which I find really funny. And then they gave us the Tiger Force stickers too. So are they not intending to do the Tiger Force version of this? The Tigerfly? I don't know. That's interesting. Country, Sundance, Butch, Western, a lot of different card emblems, a lot of different Snake and Wild Bill emblems, Yeehaw, and stuff like that on that first page. And Dragonfly stickers. And then on this one, it's much more of a zombie inspired deco, which I'm not sure what the reference of the zombies and stuff is. Maybe one of you guys can tell me where all the zombies deco is supposed to go and why they included it with the Dragonfly. This is a lot of traditional stickers on this one. DF1, Dragonfly 1, and then some zombies and stuff like that. So maybe one of you guys can explain that to me. I'm not familiar with that whole idea of that. Let's see. Those flames look mint coming out of your Sparrow missiles, aka Sidewinders. Yeah, they do, don't they? They look really good. Dude stuff 2025. Them stickers are tough to put on even with steadiest hands. Ah, great. I'm glad it's not just me. Cheers, Skywalker. I use the Gorilla Tape on the base to secure the open side of the base to my shelf in case of naughty cat or accidentally bumping into it. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I don't have any pets, so I don't really have to worry about it. But that's a good tip for those guys out there that do have dragonflies and you don't want your animals to bump it or knock it over. OMG, that's a lot of stickers. Yeah. It is a lot of stickers. I agree with you. G.I. Joe 666 Delta 17. So I'm going to put that back in the box package, I mean. And we're going to get into some figures. You guys ready to open some figures up? We put the Dragonfly together. It's looking really good. We'll put this out of the way. Put it over there in the box for now, till later. All right, so we're going to start with Wild Bill, number 142. Keep your doors shut. No pets in my G.I. Joe room. Smart. All right, so Wild Bill is first. We'll see what he looks like. Oh, they don't have tape on it, so you don't have to open up the package because it just opens right up. So that's good. I didn't notice, but they also have a little dragonfly at the top with the number and the symbol there. Oh, we have the designations. Let's look at his designations. This is going to be interesting to see what these designations are. So they have the rotary. Let's see what if I have that on here first. Rotary. I don't have the rotary thing on my my list. I have to go back and check it out to see what it is. I'm guessing that's propeller helicopter pilot is what that is, and then it's got the 4 missiles. So the 4 missiles is light weapons. It's got the anvil, which I can't remember what the anvil is. Let's see if I have it. I don't have the anvil either. And then I have the classified. So the anvil and the propeller, I think, is a bladed vehicle, and the anvil is like heavy weapons, maybe something like that. But I'm not sure. I don't have the. I can't get into it right now. I'll have to go into my other file to look at those. But so that's Wild Bill's designations for now. So we'll pull him out. I had to exit and come back for chat. You did, Sean Jones? So I'm not sure. It's still going. It hasn't ended. So I don't know why you had to do that. Is it raining or is it a storm or something in you guys' area? Maybe you're having difficulty with the Wi-Fi, the internet. I'm not sure. Has anybody else had that issue? 6 Delta 17 ORC. My entire house is my Joe room. They go wherever the bottles are in. The plants on the fridge, on the cat tree. Cat trees make wicked multi-tier headquarters and stuff. Cool. Brandon. Let me know if anybody else is having that difficulty. They have the sky in the interior of the package, and you can see the clouds and stuff up there. So I really like that that effect, that whole cloud effect. So let me know if you guys are having problems. Brandon, you're fine up there in the 51st state. Okay. What is that, Canada? All right. Wow. The material is a little bit different. The material feels a little bit different with this. No issues, dude. Stuff 2025. Yep. Brandon, you're all right. Okay. I'm not sure. Maybe Clement is down in South Africa, so it's a little bit tougher down there. I'm guessing maybe there's weather storms and it's affecting the Wi-Fi. I don't know. You're lucky. I have crazy kids that would break it all. Funny. 610 Yojo Daddy has some kids too, I think. He's got 3 kids. So that's very, very good. I think very close to the vintage one. Let's get it out. Here's the vintage one. There. Obviously, they did the greens a little darker. Again, they always do the more subdued, darker colors. That was the package. He's got that helicopter tampo right there on his right side. He's got the U.S. flag on his left side. He's got the gold embossed logo of the helicopter reserve. What did they say in his file card? I can't remember what I said earlier, but I do like the ornate style on his gloves there. You can barely see it with this lighting, but there, can you see that ornate style there? And it's on his other thing too, and it's on his belt as well. There's a little ornate style on the belts on all sides of that belt. Beautiful detail in there. Gunpowder, you got 3 kids as well? Brandon, a Wild Bit is one of my top 20 classified figures in the entire line. They nailed this guy. Yeah, so far he looks really good. I like they got the little bitty tampo on the shoulder pads. That's a little bit more leather, a little lighter leather, and then they got the harness, the black harness going around his vest, and the vest is kind of loose, so there's a lot of detail underneath that, so you can get that ab crunch going. That's where that knife goes that I was talking about on the vintage one, and then there's also some more ornate detail on his holsters there on his left and right sides as well. And this, he's got the parachute outfit, so it's really cool. You can see like the parachute pant detail in there and the legs. 610 Yojo Daddy. Yes, I have a 19-year-old daughter, and that's in college playing basketball, and two twin 17-year-old boys in high school, and all three collect with me. Wow, that's great that you have your daughter collecting and your twin sons. Um, Wild Bill's pistols are phenomenal. Yeah, I'm going to get into them in just a moment, 610 Yojo Daddy. Um, so let's look at that face printing. Let's see if his hat comes off. His hat does not come off. So look at that face print. I like that handlebar mustache. That's a really nice face print with the eyes and stuff like that. It's a little weird with the lighting here, but I think you can get a good view of that. And I like the fact that there's so much detail. There's little buttons on there on the side of the vest. And there's a little thing in the back of the vest like you would normally have on a vest, a real vest. So far, this guy is phenomenal. Let's see. So we also have a second hat. We have a second hat. I wish the stand had some storage. That would have been nice. Like the other vehicles, I would have liked that storage. Then some hair, some additional hair. So I'm guessing that comes off. Yeah, it comes off. So you can just do the hair by itself, which is very nice, reddish brown, cowboy style, part in the middle. And then I guess you can have him throwing his hat if he wanted to hold it and throw it. Oops, I just lost his hat. Oh well, I'll pick it up later. So I'm going to put his hat. You can tell though, now that hat is off, you can see that he has blue eyes in his face print. Blue eyes. I'm going to take the hair off. I'm going to put the hat with the hair back on. I'll pick up the other hair later. All right, so then he's also got glasses. Now that's a big sticking point with a lot of folks with glasses is trying to get the glasses to stay on. So I'm 610 Yojo Daddy. Do you guys, can you get your glasses to stay on really good? Is there a better way to do it? That I'm going to put them on the one with the hat. Hopefully they'll stay on that one. All right, I got his glasses. That looks really awesome. All right, so I'm gonna lay him back down there. I just hit my head in the on the propeller. It's so big. Okay, so then we have that knife because he has that little sheath on his vest, little teeny knife with some silver detail on it. Like the vintage one, the knife goes right on his vest like that. We have the pistols. I got them out. Clement, Dave, I can watch you, but I can't say everything I want to say. Oh, I'm sorry, Clement. I apologize for that. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Everybody else seems to be able to chat. It's got to be your Wi-Fi where you're at. You're pretty far from here. I'm in Florida and you're in South Africa, so it's a little bit far. Off topic, but do any of you in the chat collect turtles? Amazon has the Super 7 party van for $2.99. Wow, that's very cheap. Michael G. Fleming, you have to work with it a little to get it to sit right, but his second hat can fit on Glenda. Oh, wow. Cool. I like that. Nice. Brandon. 610 Yojo Daddy. I love a well sculpted six gun. Sweet. I paid $60 or $80 for my turtle van. Wow. G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. Try clicking off, then rejoin. Clement, did you hear what Sean Jones had to say? It says click off and then rejoin. All right, so here's the six guns. There's two of them. They have a little bitty white gold star on there, little tampo. Let me see if I can get a better view in this lighting. Can you see that? That star on there? There, how's that? They both have that. There. So I'm going to put those two in his holsters. One. And two. There. There. So I've got all of his gear on him. Most of it anyways, except for his extra hat and his extra hair. So we'll put him in the Dragonfly in a minute. Put that out of the way. Put these designations out of the way. Oh, no, we're going to need that for the next figure, actually. What am I talking about? Brandon 8269, Florida, jealous. LOL. Be there in April anyway for kids. Cheers, Sport Worlds tournament. Oh, you're going to be in town in April? Brandon, you should come try to come to my G.I. Joe show. It's on the 19th of April. So hopefully that'll work out. You're going to be in Orlando. You're probably going to be at the Orlando Convention Center. That's usually where MegaCon is every year in Florida. So 610, good morning. Hope your week started well. Sean Jones. 610 Yoji today. Brandon, I wish someone would do a really good Cowboy 6-inch line. I would be all in. There's a 4-inch line, I think, isn't there? I think, Dave, a Joe thing in April. You might be there for Brandon. Yeah, I think so. I hope so. It's the 19th. It's on a Sunday. So if you can make it, I would love to have you come to it. It's the Central Florida Joe Show. It's a little north of Orlando. It's about 45 minutes outside of Orlando north. But I would love to have you come visit. To you as well, Sean Jones. For sure. There you go, Brandon. Great. All right, so we're going to go into Ripcord, Night Force Ripcord next. That is number 43. Now, this is an odd one, because it's Night Force, and it has Night Force logo on there, and it has, I didn't know they had these little these targeting pieces of artwork down there on the bottom. But this one's a Night Force one, which I like. They made a different kind of figure, and they didn't just stick in Ripcord behind a paywall. I don't want them to do that with main characters or important characters. I'd rather them do it where it's a redeco or something like that with the Haslab. So I'm very happy that the Flint and the Lady J were Arctic versions. And so far, all the vehicle, other than the main vehicle driver, which Wild Bill is one of the main vehicle drivers, it's tricky when you get into that. But maybe I'll do. We've been hearing rumors of a new version of Wild Bill as a retro carded figure coming up. Maybe Ripcord and Wild Bill will both get that. Let's see. April 19th. Hang on. Let me check. Okay, Brandon. We stay in Kissimmee since Worlds is at the ESPN Center. Oh, okay. So that's a little bit farther south. So maybe an hour south. I was thinking it was at the Orlando Convention Center because that's usually where they do that stuff. But you're doing it at Disney. That's why it's the ESPN Wild World of Sports, I believe. All right. So the designations for Ripcord are as follows. He has a parachute, so that's paratrooper, obviously, paratrooper. Skydiving, it says actually. And then it has the missiles, which is light weapons. It's got the ordnance explosives, and then it has the um, infiltration. So those are the designations for Night Force Ripcord there. All right, so now this is one of the interesting figures because they did something unique with this figure that no other figure, to my knowledge, has. Maybe only the Halo Jumper, 60th anniversary Halo Jumper, has this thing, and then Ripcord. No one else. Yep. Yep. So that's about an hour south of where my convention is. It's going to be on a Sunday. So if you can bring your wife, or maybe some of the coaches can watch your daughter or whatever, Brandon, and you can come down for a while, hang out with us. I would love to have you. Mark Pennington's going to be there. Adam Richards is going to be there. There's going to be a lot of really cool people at the show, and you can buy a lot of vintage GI Joe. So there's nothing more cool than going on vacation and buying GI Joe toys on your vacation. I love it myself personally. That's one of my favorite things to do, but I don't have any children, so I have a little bit easier time of it. Now, Ripcord is like one of my all-time favorite characters. I love Ripcord quite a bit. So it looks like he's got the same pants as Wild Bill. They redecoed it. So the bottom half is very similar to Wild Bill, but the top half, maybe the top half is exactly the same. The only difference is they gave him the open shirt instead. They gave him a gray shirt. So they redecoed this mold twice. So that's very interesting that they did that. And I think they also did it with Wild Weasel, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Wild Weasel might be a little different. So then they gave him that secondary harness. They gave him the secondary holster, this secondary holster over here as well. I love the breaks, the color breaks. That's one of my favorite things about Classified, the color breaks. They got a lot of green and black, and he's got that reddish hair. I always thought Ripcord had a little bit more, I would say sandy red, not quite this red, but it's fine. It's okay. Thanks for the invitation. Hopefully I can make it work. I hope so too. I used one of the Halo Jumpers shoots for Ripcord since I have 6 of them. Wow, smart, very smart, 610 Yojo Daddy, because that's one of the weird things about these characters. Some of the characters that should come with that, they don't come with the right accessories to do what they need to come with. And there's been 2 or 3 Halo Jumpers, like Parth Varma, the 60th anniversary, now Ripcord, Crazylegs. I'm trying to think who else is a paratrooper. Hit and Run that's coming. So there's little color deco details like the carabiners and the buckles and stuff. We got that little patch there on the side of that tampo, that paratrooper tampo there. Let me see if I can get a better view of that. There you go. Then there's the Night Force logo on that side with that tampo. And then he also has a little computer, like little directional type unit right there with some deco on it. I think the face print is really nice on this as well. Let's see if you guys get it. There you go. See that face print with his eyes and everything? That looks really nice. I just think the hair is a little too red for my taste. I think Wild Bill would have been all right with the same color as him, but they made his hair a lot darker. There's also a couple little deco hits on the pants for the zippers and the little pockets and stuff that are in for his pouches. And all these buckles and stuff have silver in there with that deco in there. So it's really nice. All right. So next, what do we got going on? Yep. Oh, okay. So since you were talking about his backpack, there's his backpack, and it has that opening for the parachute. So it has a hole you can stick a parachute in. So you can have him jump out and have the parachute jump out of his backpack. It has a lot of black deco around it, green and black deco. So I love that. The fact that that's actually usable and playable. Um, and then he's got his really, really nice. And I think we've seen this before. Who had this? Was it Airborne? No, I think it was Starduster that had this, right? He had that visor and that helmet and everything on it. Um, and there's a little bitty computer GoPro, I guess, connected to it right there. And this does move up and down, up and down. Then it has that airborne chevron thing, which we've seen on several. So I really, really think that's beautiful. You did a good job with that. I'm guessing we're going to get this with Flash and Short Fuse, is it? Grand Slam. I think we're going to get this helmet with this for Flash and Grand Slam as well. So I'm going to put it on him. We'll see what he looks like. There. And I put his visor up a little bit. So there you go with his visor. And then he has a rebreather and some glasses. So I'm going to try to put the glasses on first. Actually, I put the helmet on. I should have put the glasses on first. So now I got to take the helmet back off. Take that helmet back off. Put the blue goggles, which we've seen these goggles 3 or 4 times, decoed in different colors. All right, so let's see if we can get that on there over those goggles. I hope we can. Well, maybe not. No, I don't think you can do that. It's too tight. So we'll take the goggles back off. There. Take the goggles back off, and we'll put them away. I'll just put him in his backpack, I guess. Put his helmet back on. There. They really put a lot of detail into these things because there's a little bitty edge, like a green edge around that visor, and there's a little red light on that GoPro on his helmet. You can see the detail that they spent on this thing. This was expensive, obviously, so they put more detail into it. It looks really good, though, I must say. All right, so then we have his rebreather. So we're gonna it's all black. We've seen these rebreathers a couple of times already. I'm going to hook that into, I think, let's see, let's go in the backpack. No, rebreather. I don't know. It goes into the helmet, slightly goes into the helmet there. Yeah. So you hook it. There's little doodads in the side of the helmet. Let's see. Hmm. All right, I think I got it. Nope, it keeps popping out. One side pops out and the other side pops out. So I'm going to put that back on his head. But I don't know where that goes. Oh, I think it goes right here in the side. This little pouch there, I think the rebreather goes there. Plugs in there. And then it goes on his mask there. So yeah, I can't get that to stay in there. I'll have to fiddle around with his rebreather to get that to go on him better. But I'm just going to put it over there for now until I can get it to work. Let's see. He has a pistol. Let's see. He's got the little pistol. We've seen this pistol before a couple of different times. So he's got a holster on his left leg. So we're going to put his pistol in there. I'm guessing that's a one of those electrical guns that the police use, tasers. Then he has two rifles. He's got a very futuristic rifle. Very futuristic one with some green tampo to match his deco of his secondary harness. And then we have that sniper rifle. Sniper rifle with the silencer with some green deco as well on that. We've seen this. We just saw this actually. It came with the Twilight Guard and the Steel Corps Commander. So we'll put that over there. Let's see if I can put his backpack on here. We'll see if that works. Let's see. If we can get this on here. Yeah. All right, so I got his backpack on. Let's see if we can get it snug. And there's a little peg hook that pegs into the back of his back there. So you can put the helmet on and you can have the backpack on there as well. Kind of like that and like that. I'm going to work with the rebreather to get that on there, but so far I can't get in there. I'm going to throw his gun and his glasses and stuff inside his backpack. There. I like storage. I like things to have storage. So that's cool. So you can put his glasses in there. Then put his rebreather in there. So all of his gear is inside of his backpack. And then he has his rifle. So he almost has everything on him pretty much. He's got some modulability with him. So you can do 2 or 3 different type play patterns or dioramas or photography with him. It looks really cool. All right, I'm going to put him over there. So I wanted to make sure, oh, I forgot to mention that both of these figures, they have all the same articulation points. They got the butterflied shoulder, the double pin elbows, the double pin knees, the foot rocker. They do not have the secondary ankle articulation. They do have the the wrist articulation. They have the thigh and calf articulation. They have the ab crunch. They have the crotch and leg articulation. They have the head rocker articulation that goes up and down there like that. So they have most of the same articulation points because they've got pretty much the same body with that. So there you go. And that is everything for Night Force Ripcord. So now we're going to go into Glenda. Glenda, she's 144. Her designations are, she's got Halo pilot as well, like Wild Bill. She's got the energy weapons. She's got the, let's see, I think intelligence, and she's got the aerial combat. So those are her designations. So then we're going to open this up. There. Get her out of here. And she has that cloud inside as well, similar to Wild Bill and similar to Ripcord, the clouds inside there, which I really like. I think that's a really cool detail. And the fact that they added that is very, very interesting. And then the Dragonfly blueprint and the Yeehaw Champions is also on the bottom of all those packages as well. Let's see. So she's got a lot of accessories with her. Now, this is one of those things, when she was announced and showed off, it was like, okay, this is immediately, they're going to be doing Scarlet, version 1 Retro Scarlet. And very shortly after that, we got the Retro Scarlet in the Vintage Retro line, package line. But she looks really, really cool. I like those different color breaks with her, with the white and the blue and the gray on there. It's very cool. She looks very distinctive and stands out as a character. And then there's her face print there, and with that blonde hair, that signature blonde hair. But I think they did a really good job with her. I like the fact that they gave her the little white bits on that harness, that secondary harness, and there's a little bitty silver buckles and stuff like that on there as well to add to it. And she's got this little small gun there, and it's in silver, so they have a little bit of silver on her that's a little bit different, I think, than the other Scarlet. I'm not 100%. I'd have to check it out to see, but I'm pretty sure. But she comes with lots of stuff. All right, first off, she's got a headpiece that has the radio attached to it, a red hairpiece with the radio on there. Look at all that detail and stuff like that. So that's one head. She's got another hairpiece that's a much more like combed back version of her hair. Combed back, a little different. And then she has a helmeted head with the radio there. She got the helmet. And then on the back, there's a little tampo, and it says Comandos Heroicos from Argentina, since she's part of the International G.I. Joe. Heroes Heroicos. Let's see if I can get that close. Can you guys see that right there? Yeah, Heroes Heroicos. So that's probably the one I'm going to end up going with her. We'll see. I'll play around with this a lot later. We'll see. And then she's got a much more paratrooper harness that she comes with, like Ripcords, and it has that little silver carabiner there in the front, and little bits of silver on the buckles. So that's really cool as well. I'm going to have to move Wild Bill and Ripcord over here. So there. I don't want to lose anything. So then she has... Now, this is one of the things that people were jumping at that she obviously is going to have because she came with the accessories of Flash. The backpack with that hose on it there. This is all Flash's accessories. And maybe Grand Slams as well. So this is what we call future proofing. So we knew we were going to get a retro Scarlet, because of this sculpt and this figure. That was obvious. And then because of these accessories, we knew we were going to get Flash and Short Fuse Grand Slam at some point. And hopefully it'll be this year. We'll finish out the OG 13 in some fashion. But these are all done in black. They're really cool detail. This is a new gun. We've never gotten this gun before. This is the first time we're getting it, because she came with a lot of those same similar accessories for her figure back in the day. So let's see if I can put this on her. To figure out how this goes. It goes like this. There. And then her sci-fi gun, I will put in this hand. There. I'm not sure where that plugs in. There's a little bitty doodad on the end of that's supposed to plug into something. I'm not sure exactly where. Maybe this harness. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know where that plugs into. But then we have a revolver. We have a black revolver that's going to go in a secondary holster that she has on her right leg, right there. You can see it a little bit there. Right, like there. So that's going to go in there. And then she has a second set of hands, fists, similar to Scarlet, where she had several extra hands. There. So that's all the accessories for her. So we have 2 extra little fists with some knucks. There. So I'm going to leave the knucks hands off for now, just for the sake. I'm going to see where I can fit this little thing in. It's got to be someplace on this side, I would guess. I'm not entirely sure where that's supposed to go. There's a little hole there. I guess I could just stick it there like that. Maybe it goes into one of the helmets. Let's see. Nope, there's no hole in that helmet. Let's see if this helmet has, this hair has it. Yeah, no. Maybe not. I don't know. There's a little bitty loop. There's a teeny little loop there. Maybe that goes into that. Maybe it's sci-fi. I don't know. But for now, I'm just going to leave her the way she is. I'll play around with it a little bit later, and we'll see where that can go. 610 Yojo Daddy, do you know where that little tube goes? The hose attaches to the laser. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, there it is. I see it now. Thank you very much. There's a little bitty hole at the end of the laser. All right, I got it in there. All right, thank you very much. That's why I like having you guys in the chat. You can help me out. There it is. I got it. You guys are great. Thank you. I used one of the Halo jumpers shoots for Ripcord since I have... Oh, okay. There you go. All right. I'm thinking I may give her maybe a helmeted like this. I'm going to swap out her hair. I think I'm going to give her the other hair. I'm going to give her the hair with the radio thing on it, since she's got that laser and all that gear. I think she'll look cooler like that. Yeah, what do you guys think? You think that's a cool way to do her like that? I think she looks really good like that. So she has all the same articulation points. She has the extra thigh, the extra calf articulation right there, where the guys did not have that. She has the wrist, the thigh, the calf, secondary, the double pin knees, double pin elbows, the ab crunch, the neck articulation. She's got the leg and crotch articulation and the ab crunch. So she's got almost all the same articulation points as the guys, except she's got one extra with the secondary ankle articulation. She also has the foot rocker articulation. I'm gonna have to sell a real gun to get these bigger items, because I want a Rattler and first gen Hiss as well. Yeah, they're expensive. You got to talk to some of your friends in the chat. Talk to some of the Joe Bros. Maybe you can make deals with people. Maybe you can trade. There's ways to get this stuff cheaper. If you look around, don't jump at the first one that you see. It's kind of like car shopping. Don't jump at the first car you see. Do some research, do some looking around, talk to people. There are people out there that have some of them that have duplicates, that have 3 and 4, in fact. So you might be able to get one at a better deal. Gunpowder Nitro. Will R7284. The larger harness is used to attach to the winch cable on the Dragonfly. Oh, that's what this is. That makes sense, because there's a little bitty loop there, so the hook goes in there and she can be lowered to rescue people. Wow, that's very cool. I like that a lot. Thank you for letting me know that, Will R. I did not know that. Very cool. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to go into our last figure, and that is Crazylegs, Night Force Crazylegs. There. And we have 145 in the classified line. Let's look at his designations. His designations are as follows. Vanguard. I think he's got the light weapons. He's got the parachute, which is the skydiving. And then he has the little cannon, which is artillery. So there you go. Those are all of his designations. There. So we'll get him out of the package. And again, he has the blueprint art there. He's got the yeehaw there. And he's got the interior clouds like the other ones. Interior clouds. Very cool. All right, so let's see. Crazylegs. Now this is interesting because we pre-ordered like in November the vintage inspired deco of Crazylegs. So it's going to be interesting to get this figure and look at him and play with him and open him up. But he's predominantly, because he's a Night Force figure, and there's that Night Force Tampo again on there. David Crazylegs Thomas was his name for Crazylegs. And then Jane Glenda Mulligan was Glenda. And then Ripcord is just Ripcord. And then William Wild Bill Hardy is Wild Bill. So he's got a lot of little red details in him to kind of call back to his vintage figure, which has a lot of red. And then he's got that harness, that silver bit in the center. He's got that yellow and blue tampo there. That's an interesting tampo. I wish we had some place where they would put all the tampos so we could figure out what they all mean. I'm going to have to, oh yeah, I saw that. So that. Cause it's crazy and he got legs. Yep, there you go, crazy legs. So what do you think about that face print on him? I know there was a little bit of a hemming and hawing over his face print on the retro package one, but that one looks pretty good. He's got a 4 o'clock shadow a little bit there. So it's kind of cool. I like that head actually. I think it looks really nice. Um, yeah, you can see that 4 o'clock shadow in there on that face print. I like all the little red details, added parts. This is a new mold, so obviously they're using this mold for the new figure. So they got a reuse out of it. He's got the double the butterfly shoulders, the double pinned elbows, double pinned knees, the foot rocker. He's got the ankle articulation, the secondary ankle articulation. He's got the wrist articulation. He's got the calf and thigh articulation, the crotch and leg articulation. He's got the ab crunch there, ab crunch, and the head rocker articulation. So he's got almost all the articulation points. He does not have the secondary wrist articulation or the flexi wrist articulation. Gunpowder Nitro. The black and olive drab green adds contrast. Looks good. Yeah, it does. Catch the rest on replay, Brandon 8269. I hate to jet, but I gotta fly for now. Hey, you've been here most of the chat, so I don't blame you for that. This is a long one. I'm sorry. It had to have been a long one because we had a huge vehicle and 4 figures to go through and all their histories. Hose attaches to the laser like flash would. Yep. Got that already. 610 Yojo Daddy. Thank you. Brandon, later. See ya. Thanks for joining us. So he's a really nice one. Again, I love the balance of the deco. I love the padding, stuff like that. And I'm hoping all that's going to be red on the new one, the vintage package, retro package one. And he's got a secondary holster there. He's got a knife sheath holster there. I like the grenades and a lot of that extra. He's got like 2 secondaries on him. He's got a regular one, and then he's got another harness, a parachute harness, and he's got a secondary belt there that has that little black buckle on it. Can't hardly see it there, but there you go. And he's got 2 harnesses, 2 secondaries. He also has that those little red pouches there and all these little details of red on him. He looks very nice. Let's get into some of his accessories. So he has his ball cap like he would originally in the vintage line. He had a ball cap on, and so you can put that on there. And there's a name for that ball cap. I don't know the exact name, but I know that it had something to do with the military. Why he has that red ball cap, I don't know what it is exactly. So if you guys know in the chat what that ball cap is, the designation for it, let me know, or the information for it. I'm going to put his helmet on just like Ripcord. And he's got a little bitty chin strap. So you're going to have to be careful you don't break that chin strap. There you go. All right, I got it on there. So I was able to get his helmet over his head and that chin strap there. Then he has his parachute backpack, which has a little red detail on there. Some straps there for the parachute. I'm guessing if he has gets a parachute. Parachute loader rigger, IIRC. Thank you, Michael G. Fleming. I appreciate it. You must have been paying attention to Full Force when they told him that, right? Because that's where I think that was revealed. Someone told him. I don't know if it was you or was it someone else that told him that. But I knew there was something for it, and I just couldn't remember. It's too much information. Then he has that pistol, the same pistol that I think Ripcord had. Well, I put it in his holster already, but he's got his pistol in his holster already. There. So then let's see. He also has 2 sets of goggles. So let's see. So I'm thinking his goggles could fit over the helmet. I'm going to try. It's a little teeny goggles. I think we've seen these goggles somewhere else. Were they with Parthavarma? So I can never get these on because I have to pull the head off, or I have to pull the helmet back off to get it on. So I may just leave that off for now. He's got 2 sets of those, and I'll fiddle with it later. He's got 2 of these. They have green highlights for the glasses, so I'm going to just put them over there for now. I'll fiddle with that later, and I'll see if I can get it on the helmet. And then he has a knife similar to, I think it was Wild Bill, little silver deco with a black holster handle. That goes there. Goes on his sheath there on his front, and that holster has the gun there. There. And then we have his cool weapon. Man, I don't think I've seen this gun before. This is a new gun. Look at how futuristic that looks. Woo! Wonder who they're going to give that to. Somebody down the road is going to get that gun. They future-proofed this line. They put a bunch of new equipment with these figures for future use, I think. So that's all his accessories there. I'm going to put that on him there. And there you have it. There is Crazylegs. So he looks really good too. I wish there was some sort of like a drawer in this stand that you could put all the extra stuff, because there's a lot of extra stuff. All right. So I want to show this one more time because I think I showed it earlier. Let's see. It's 42, 43, 44, 45. So I think I showed this earlier, but I'm going to show it one more time. So if you take all your boxes, you put them together, you have a little bitty art diorama with the Dragonfly, which is awesome. I love it. Yep, that's what I thought, Michael Gene Fleming. I had a feeling that's where it was. Looks like a HK USP. Yes. Looks like a HK USB. What is that, Gunpowder Nitro? Dave, can you show the helicopter hang up? I don't have any place to hang it up, Clement. Sorry. I've noticed Hasbro is taking laments from different real firearms and combining them. Oh, okay. Elements. I gotcha. Gunpowder Nitro. I can show it closer if you want, Clement. It's very heavy. I'll go very slow. All right. Is that good? Hopefully that stays and it doesn't fall over. There. All right. It's fine. Okay. Let's see. What else? Wow. That was a lot. I thank you guys all for hanging in there. Yeah, that thing is huge. It is off the chain. There's no doubt about it. Pun intended. Wow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this deep dive into the Dragonfly, Wild Bill, Ripcord, Crazylegs, and Glenda. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I wasn't too boring with this. But there's a lot. There's a lot to go through with this, and I'm going to probably put it up there. So if you look up in the my display, let's see. Try to get this. If you look up there where that Cobra Commander is up there, that's where I'm going to put it. It's going to go across there. I have to move some stuff around and bring it down, and I may have to take my cold slither out for now, but that's where I'm going to put it. So hopefully it'll be fine up there. It'll be safe. there. All right. All right, so our next figure, we're going to go into 2025 next. It is 146, another new Dreadnought, which is one of my favorite all-time favorite Dreadnoughts, and it's a phenomenal figure in and of itself. Later, y'all have a good rest of the day. Great live as usual, Dave. Thank you very much, Gunpowder. You were here right from the beginning, so you can go whenever you need to go because you were here right at the top of this. So thank you very much. Thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for contributing to the chat and getting involved. Thank you, everybody after the fact that's going to watch on the replay crew. I appreciate that as well. Share these videos out because that's the number one thing you can do to help this channel grow. We're trying to get up to the 250 mark now, and eventually try to get up to a nice round number of maybe 1,000. You guys are wonderful. And this is a really big G.I. Joe video. So we're going to go, Yo, Joe! Thanks a lot. See you in the next one.